everybody, I'm Quinn.
And I'm Scott. Welcome to the Almost Friday show for June 24th, 2010.
And off the press this week, we're giving a lightning round of 4 different movie reviews.
Then we're going to see Dave in the Gutters, and he's checking out Cover Run, which is a collection of DC art by Adam Hughes.
In Tech Insight, we're looking at Toshiba's new netbook dual-screen Courier-like gizmo that Sean really likes.
Really likes.
Yeah.
Then we're going behind the lens. We're checking out Samsung's answer to the Micro Four Thirds camera.
And then Sean's going to show us a robot that learned how to play pool in Mad Science.
And then we're going to Law of the Week, and we're going to find out why Peter Chao is better than the iPad.
Anyway, without further ado, it's time for Off the Press. Hey, welcome to a special lightning round of Off the Press. We're reviewing 4 movies for you today. In order, we're going to be looking at A-Team, Toy Story 3 in 3D, Jonah Hex, and Sam and I managed to catch the girl with the dragon tattoo. We'll be looking at story, character acting, visuals, and then our overall rating. We'll start it off with A-Team. Dave, what'd you think?
I really enjoyed A-Team, especially the end. It was really cool.
Yep. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought that's how you should do a really cheesy action movie with a really cheesy property. You know, just kind of still bring the action, but play up the cheese. Don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah, they really worked on the don't take yourself seriously, and so the scenes were ridiculous, but they were entertaining because of that.
Yeah. I was worried when I saw The Losers, because The Losers did a really good job of portraying an A-Team motif in their movie.
Yeah, I got a lot of that.
And
too.
I saw this, and it actually made me forget that performance.
Yeah. I definitely a couple notches above The Losers.
Yep.
I really liked Murdoch's character. I thought he was goofy, and he really added that bit of insanity to the team that it needed to push them over the edge and really kind of play out the fact that this, was not a serious movie.
The actor who I really enjoyed in District 9.
Yeah, Shartle Copley is his
He did
name.
a really good job. Murdoch was my favorite character in the TV show. He was my favorite character in this movie.
Yeah.
And I really, I didn't get crazy, but I did get chaotic off of him, and that is really what I enjoyed about Murdoch to start with. I just enjoy the sort of chaotic personalities when I don't have to interact with them.
I thought it was well filmed from an action movie standpoint. It definitely hit all the levels, having some good chase scenes, motorcycles, lots of explosions.
Yeah.
Nothing overly spectacular, but they did have some interesting helicopter scenes.
They went
which were
through
pretty cool.
the action movie checklist.
Absolutely, yeah. They really
absolutely.
did.
Yeah.
It was a formula action movie.
I was talking to someone else who is also a big fan of the A-Team TV show, and in the movie they provided all sorts of neat things, and he went through a whole checklist of, like, they had, why do BA and Murdoch have such an antagonistic relationship? Why does BA's a ranger? Why is he afraid to fly?
Yeah.
They went through a whole list of things that of questions that we all had from the show, and they answered them in the movie. And they did it all without making me, anyway, feel like my time was being wasted. Like I was saying, oh, this is more exposition. Oh my goodness. Anyway, okay.
So out of 5 lens flares, what would you give it?
I give it 4 lens flares out of 5.
I also give it 4 lens flares.
I'm going to go a notch above and say 4.5. I think it's going to be one of the best action movies this summer. If you have a chance to see it in theaters, do it because it's worth it. It's really a big
I really
big
don't
screen
think
kind
it'll.
of thing.
Yeah, it probably won't do very well on a TV.
All right, so moving on to our second movie, Toy Story 3 in 3D. Dave, what did you think of this movie?
I really enjoyed it and totally didn't cry.
So Dave cried at the end.
Oh!
I totally didn't. My contact weren't bugging me at all.
I legitimately didn't cry. However, I will point
That's
out
because he's cold and has no
that I think one of my favorite things that Pixar does is they have a really great way of always ending their movies. If you look at Monsters, Inc., for instance, that movie ends with Sully opening the door. You don't see the little girl, but you hear her voice, and he smiles, and that's how the movie cuts. And this movie ends, I don't really want to ruin it, but this movie ends on a really good note of a closure of a trilogy.
Yeah.
Sam and I talked about if they made a 4th one, we wouldn't see it. And
No.
honestly, I don't think Pixar will. Pixar's never made any second movies with the exception of Toy Story, let alone a third. So
Well, they are making another Cars.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
making another Cars. They're doing like a Cars 1.5, too. It's like a short film. I think I read somewhere that they might be doing a short film for Toy Story.
okay.
So.
Well, I don't think Pixar's the kind of studio to try and do something for the money, though, and I think because of that, we probably won't ever see a Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. It was a beautiful send off,
Yeah.
and it was neat because at one point I was sitting there and I was thinking, they're saying goodbye to all the fans who've been such big Toy Story
Who
fans for
basically
so long.
grew up in real time with the character.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool how they made this movie come out so much after the second one, because it's basically like they aged the character in real time.
Yeah, it very much felt like that.
From a story perspective, I think it was a good sort of movie. The antagonist was well played. Again, was a character struggling with the fact that he wasn't loved, kind of idea that they like to repeat a lot. But the story was solid. Had a good bit of animated action as much as it can be.
Yeah. The story was interesting though, because in this one it was they've always sort of gone on both sides of, okay, the kids are going to enjoy this, and there's something for the adults as well, so that the whole family is going to be able to enjoy it and watch it again.
Case in point, Buzz Lightyear goes Italian for
Spanish.
a while. Sorry, Spanish for a while.
Spanish setting. Oh my goodness.
And I
That
guarantee you,
part is
half the younger audience wouldn't have been able to read or keep up with that. So
Yeah.
they're laughing because he sounds funny, and we're laughing
Yeah.
because what we're reading in the
'Cause he's
subtitles.
hilarious.
So
Exactly.
that's sort of a good example of it. Really quickly, do you think the 3D made the movie better? Do you think you would
I like how
have
they
enjoyed it
didn't-
less in 3D?
I like how they didn't abuse the 3D.
Yeah, I
They-
thought it was
they-
a good sense of depth to the movie.
Yeah, they never, I saw 1 and 2 when they remade them in 3D and threw them together as a double feature, and this felt like, it didn't feel like it was made today. It felt like it would go along with how the other two looked in 3D, so.
I really enjoyed it in 3D. There were certain movies like Clash of the Titans where the 3D was a mistake. I didn't get the sense of that same mistake kind of thing. And I didn't get the feeling like in Alice in Wonderland where it was unnecessary. Was it necessary? I wouldn't say absolutely. Was it more enjoyable? I think so.
I would
it
agree.
wasn't distracting.
I would agree.
Yeah, it was done well. So.
Yeah, it was well done.
So out of 5, how many lens stars are we giving this
I'm
one?
going to give this 4 as well.
I'm going to give it 4.5.
I think I'm going to go with 4 as well. If you're a Toy Story fan, definitely see it.
There's also a little Totoro in it.
Yes, there
It's
was.
adorable.
Anyway, so
Sorry,
But
I'm
if you
sorry.
don't dig animated movies, then maybe not your thing. But if you've been a Toy Story fan, there's no reason not to see this movie.
there's every reason you should see it. I
Yeah.
think. I think is a good way of putting it.
So we'll move on to Jonah Hex, comic book movie that we reviewed. All 3 of us decided to go see this on cheap night because, well, none of us had high expectations. I'm going to start it off by saying those expectations were about met, at their not high.
I was not surprised by
You
this
know what?
movie.
I am happy I went on cheap night.
I will put it out there.
It's a cheap night movie.
Yeah, I read a review that said that the characters were well acted. The problem was that it was a shoddy storyline, and I agree with that. I think Josh Brolin's character was really well played.
Yeah.
I think he played his part well. I think unfortunately he had a crappy script and a crappy backstory to have to play
He
into.
did a decent enough job with what he had.
Yes.
And he didn't have much to work with. It isn't like one of those movies where they have an amazing actor up there and it's like, I could watch this person read the newspaper.
Yeah.
It was not like that. I don't like Megan Fox.
No.
And this movie, all it did was confirm my dislike for her.
Yeah,
So.
I don't think I've seen her in anything else, and I really didn't like her in this movie.
She's in Transformers.
I haven't seen it either.
I can't talk to Sam anymore.
Uh,
Hey, you're getting a guy point taken away for that.
Visual-wise, nothing too spectacular. Although from a sort of Western with a bit of technology kind of flair, I liked his Gatling guns on his horses, and I liked a little bit of the shootout scenes. So it hit on that sort of comic book Western well, I found. But, could have used a little bit more.
It was more comic booky, oddly enough, I think, than the comic book.
Although I am going to
again,
say,
it's
man, what the hell's with the crow coming out of his mouth? That was just
Yeah.
preposterous.
Having not read the comic, I can't really
It started off
on-
as a cowboy comic,
Yeah.
and eventually turned into a mysticism
Oh, okay.
kind of comic.
That
All
would
right, so
explain that.
out of 5, what do you give this one?
1.5. Not unwatchable.
No. It'd be a good.
Not
Hey,
what
let's
not
rent
what it
this
should have been in a summer where we're
No.
getting comic movies that are so.
It would
good.
definitely be a hey, let's rent this just for shits and giggles, grab some popcorn and beer type movie.
It's it's a February. It's a close out
Yeah.
the season kind of movie.
So I'd probably give it, since I paid half price, so 2.5.
And I'm going to give it a 2. It wasn't terrible to watch. I've seen much worse movies, but
Yeah.
I won't watch it again.
Wow.
So Sam and I got a chance to see Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which is a Swedish film, all
Based-
in Swedish.
based on a book.
Whatever the
On
language
the
is
book
there.
of the same name.
Yes, based on the book of the same
Yeah.
name.
Swedish.
So all subtitles. It was a long movie.
That wasn't that bad.
It was 2.5
was
hours.
intense.
It was a very dark movie.
Oh.
very, very dark, very graphic, but incredibly well acted. All the characters really played their roles well. It was filmed really well.
Yeah.
It really had that sense of being a depressing movie of sorts. It was shot very darkly, good lighting, good ambience to a lot of the scenes. And, you know, the idea behind the movie is they're trying to solve a murder, or rather a disappearance. And you really don't know until, you know, the last 10 minutes how it's going to play out, which was good. Even though the movie was 2.5 hours, I didn't feel like it was long. I mean, what would you think altogether of the movie?
I liked it. Well, yeah.
So hesitant.
I can't. It's not the type of movie I would go see very often, because I really don't watch dramas or murder mysteries. But
Was it depressing, sort of like a la Requiem for a Dream?
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Well, it's not. It wasn't so much depressing in that way. It was just very graphic. There's a pretty intense sort of like rape scene, and some of the murders are fairly graphic and stuff. They don't try to cover anything up, but it does really convey the sense of depth to the entire story. So it was a little hard to follow the subtitles. They decided to put the subtitles in white, which didn't really work sometimes.
Since most of the story took place in the winter.
Yeah, so sometimes it was hard to actually read the subtitles. Overall, I don't think it's a movie you have to go to the theater for. It's probably going to come out on DVD. I would give it a 3.5 lens flare.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 3.5.
All right, so
We've learned a few things.
Yeah.
One is that Sam is completely uncultured.
yes,
in all ways
Sam
that
needs a
matter.
good movie education.
Yeah.
However, if you are a moviegoer, check out A-Team and Toy Story 3 while they're still in the theaters. It's worth the money, we promise you.
Absolutely.
That wraps up Off the Press for this week. We'll be right back with Dave from the Gutters.
Hi, welcome to From the Gutters. I'm Dave,
I'm Sean.
and this week there are no girls. So we're going to be doing other than his girlfriend over there. But other than that, it's just the two of us guys. So we're going to review something that is cheesecake. I'm talking specifically about Covers on the Run, the DC Comics art of Adam Hughes. This book it's an art book. For years, I have been waiting for someone to do, for some kind of release of Adam Hughes' work to be done. Because he's got all of these comic book covers that I have enjoyed so much. And as an artist, I've been trying to learn how to draw women. Because I grew up drawing Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, not Woman Man, stuff like that. So I've got all of this practice doing men, and now I'm having to realize the differences between the male and female form. Anyway, finally, this collection has come out. The price point on this is $39.99 US.
Wow.
Which for a collection like this is a substantial collection. They have
pretty good,
released
actually.
they've released portfolio collections before, where you had I think up to 20 pieces of his work, done on very nice prints, yay big.
Oh wow.
Very nice, but they were $65 per portfolio. Yeah.
But then again, are those aren't in multiple prints? That's like a one-time deal, or is it a multiple print job? Like they sell them
Okay,
as if they're like.
When they run out, do they do another print run?
Yeah.
No.
No.
It
So
was
it's a
a one-time
one-time deal. Okay.
Yeah, I've been trying to get ash cans, which are basically really nice photocopies, but typically photocopied collections sold as little sketchbooks
Oh, okay.
at conventions and that sort of thing. All of that work, all of the posters, all of the everything I've gotten in order to learn more of the female figure, which sounds to me, when I hear someone else say that, like a chauvinist trying to justify his hobby. Ask anyone who's seen my work. I really don't know anything about the female figure. And I'm learning what I can from Adam Hughes. Now, in terms of the, we've got some examples of artwork here. It's cheesecake. It is pinup work, and in that it is pinups. It's the sexy female form.
And
That's really,
especially the pictures we're showing too, because I mean, it's in my opinion the sexiest of all the comic book women. Since I was a little kid.
well, it's no lamb chop and what's her name, but
Yeah.
just saying, Sherry's hot. Anyway, so here we go. We've got A couple examples here. This is one of my favorite Catwoman covers ever. I really enjoyed it. And it's not because I'm a fan of boobs. You know, again, if people who know me, they know I'm telling the truth. And this is one that I was like, okay, you know what? This is actually just Playboy.
Yeah.
There are a number of images like that in this book. But again, I want to emphasize, it's cheesecake. So.
Well, it's just like, what I like about his art, and I mean, I'm a comic fan, but I'm not like Dave. Like, I mean, I only know a few in the realm of, I guess, mainstream, you know, DC and Marvel. I don't know that much. I like the more off the wall ones, you know, the ones that don't show up as often. You know, like Atomic Robo is the best example I've got. And some other artists that I've had over the years. And his artwork is stunning. Like, I mean, when you think of comic book women and the way they are drawn, the way that they're usually portrayed, honestly, in a lot of comics, if you saw his work, it would automatically spring to mind. Like, if you've never seen it before, or you don't think you've seen it before, I'd say pick that up, because that's quite the, I think it's the pinnacle, really, of a lot of it.
He's certainly, if not the most celebrated female mainstream comic book artist. I know there are a lot of qualifiers in there, but there are other people that certainly that if you're in the comic book industry, you know of them. And they're not, the thing is, they're not so niched in with comic books. They do expand into other commercial art and that sort of thing as well. Adam Hughes does also do other artwork for different industries, but he is, I would say, primarily known for mainstream comic books. At least among the elite. There are probably 2 or 3 other people, I would say, in his class in terms of celebrity artists.
Okay.
All in all, this book, and the neat thing about this book, too, is that there are little write-ups here. For every picture, there's a little write-up, and they do include some of the sketches as well. And in those terms, in terms of a presentation of a piece of a collection of artwork, this is well done. I was very satisfied, especially at the price point. I was expecting this would be $60, $70, $40.
Considering what you get out of it, because there's quite, like, it's the best work I've seen. Like, the best.
How many pieces do we have in here?
Over 200.
I believe it is over 200. A wide variety of stuff here. Anyway, comprehensive, well done.
Very detailed in his write-ups.
Whoever planned this as a project, well done. I am looking forward to going through this for days and weeks and learning what I can about drawing sexy women. There's a friend of mine at work, important friend of mine, who was like, Dave, what you mean when you say marketable drawings of women is sexy women.
I think you can learn from that.
There is stuff to be learned here in terms of color palette and that sort of thing. Lots to be learned. Do I recommend this? Absolutely. I give this book, for what it is, again, I hate giving out A+, but this is, I don't know where you could go to improve this, other than giving more work.
Yeah.
Beyond that, so I have to give this book an A+. Flipping through it, what did you...
I'm going to have to agree, because just flipping through, reading some of the commentary, some of the little blurbs that are in there, and, I mean, I've got a couple of art books from various games that I've played over the years, and, like, it's just the way that this has to be the best organized art book and, I guess, presentation for it, like you were saying, because it's, like you said, comprehensive. There's plenty of pictures, and there's plenty of art, but there's great explanations and the process that's taken.
Yeah.
So, A+.
A+. Well done. And that's it this week. From the gutters, I'm Dave.
I'm Sean.
And we'll see you again next week.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tech Insight. We're going to talk about Google. Surprise, surprise. There's been a big lawsuit going on. Viacom decided to sue Google. Okay, Google owns YouTube.
Yeah.
And Viacom owns things like MTV and the Comedy Central and things like that. So Viacom was saying, hey, Google, it's your fault
that all these Viacom videos were put up on YouTube. So we're going to sue you for that. And Google was like, well, we don't control what people put up. And then, if you send an order to say take it down, well, we take it down. That's not, it's not our job to control the content that other people put up.
And they do have a disclaimer up.
They do. And then Google's pretty good with dealing with if a content creator says, hey, take that down. They do. Mm-hmm. So basically, a U.S. federal judge has decided to side with Google, saying that, no, Viacom, you crazy people, that's not right at all. And basically, Viacom was trying to push this weird DMCA clause, and Google was kind of...
What's DMCA?
It's not a law we have in Canada. It's a law to protect
digital.
It's a law to protect content creators.
Yeah.
Does
So
DMCA
who can
stand for something?
Yeah, I have no idea. Digital Media Copyright Act.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, it's a law to give rights to content creators. So you can't have your content ripped off or violated or things like slander, things like that.
So copyright. Okay.
Yeah, more or less. It's been updated lately, but basically Viacom was trying to use that to say Google is in the wrong, and Google was like, no, read our terms of service. So Google won out, which is good for the content creation business. Mm-hmm. Really, because if Viacom could start suing other video sites that have copyright infringing videos, they're not going to be able to stay in business.
No, I mean they would be
if a video with a tiny clip of something was on Vimeo, then Viacom could go sue Vimeo for every time that video's been watched, and that doesn't make any sense.
no. But you know what? I'm really happy though because this sort of crap has been happening for a while now. It's not just Viacom. There's been other companies that have tried to go across and try and do this to Google, YouTube,
ISPs,
the ISPs even, and they all come back and say, well, no. We already tell the user that they can't do that.
The responsibility lies with the user. If I update or I upload a copyrighted file to YouTube, that's my fault. Mm-hmm. I could be charged if they could spot it to me. Mm-hmm. But
so it's kind of like saying, okay, here's a gun. We're going to make this gun. We're going to trust you're not going to shoot someone under illegal circumstances.
Exactly. That's a perfect analogy because the gun manufacturer is not responsible for everyone who dies by their gun.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's the same kind of thing, except basically this is a big victory. So places like YouTube, Vimeo, and other video sites have a better chance of staying in business.
Yeah, which is very good.
Next up, we're talking about Skype. Skype has decided to go on this big promo and offer free calling to tons of countries. Not us.
Now, do you ever get the feeling that we're getting singled out a
Now,
lot?
just to give you an idea, we're talking Algeria, Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Ghana, the Netherlands, Portugal. Sounds a lot like all the teams that are in the World Cup. UK, Switzerland.
no.
South. Oddly enough, not North Korea. They're in there.
They have their own thing, though. Don't forget.
So I think it's pretty much okay, the World Cup's going on. Let's kind of promo.
Yeah.
Quinn tells me that's what it is, but they are skipping North Korea, so I think they're...
Yeah, but don't forget, North Korea also hired a bunch of other people to cheer for their team because they don't let anyone out.
And when the team goes back, if they haven't won, bad things are going to happen.
Bad things happen, and FIFA's over. It's just done.
Regardless, so I think that's a really cool promo. Why couldn't you just do it for everywhere, you crazy people? Anyway, we thought I'd point it out. So if you do want to call other countries, free long distance right now using Skype. So if you want to call the USA, unlimited calls to landlines and mobiles, which is really cool. Or if you want to chat with some other people about football, if you want.
The football.
The footy. That's not our football. I'm not a soccer fan. Then go ahead and check Skype out. You just need to download the app and you can start calling numbers internationally for free.
Cool.
In the same vein, Google Voice came out this week and said, hey, by the way, we're free and open to everyone. It's out of beta if you live in the continental United States. So Canadians are out of luck. The British can't use it. The North Koreans are still screwed.
They still lose out.
They're like our brothers in being screwed.
You're right. We should call them up.
But it won't be free.
No, yeah, you're right. So screw that.
We can't see. They've got us.
Yeah.
Coming and going.
Yeah, both
Wow.
ways.
Wow.
So David asked me, well, what's Google Voice? And a lot of people don't know
Yes.
because you can't get it here.
Yeah.
You can't. So more or less, Google Voice is like a forwarding service. So you sign up, you get a phone number from Google in whatever area code you like. So let's say you live in New York. I sign up, say, okay, I live in New York. Here's your New York phone number. And then what you can do is give that phone number to everyone. Let's say Dave's calling me.
Gotcha.
Dave calls my Google Voice number. I have it set up so that number will ring my cell phone and my home phone. So if I'm at home and I pick up, I get Dave. But if I'm at work and I pick up, I still get Dave.
Wow.
There's a bunch of other stuff. There's built-in voicemail, texting, kinda. It's restrictive sometimes.
Okay.
And then there's also things like call blocking, so you can block a number. It's really cool if you want to manage your phone calls a little more, or if you have multiple cell phones, you can forward things to your work phone, things like that.
My question is this: is it multi-platform?
It's not an app.
So
It's
it's just
purely
a service.
a service. It works with phones.
Okay.
So you still have to have a phone and be paying for a phone to use this.
Do you still have to probably for the caller ID stuff? You still have to pay for that with your carrier.
Caller ID is a
or-
little weird.
Okay.
Because what happens is Google actually calls you.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a forwarding service. So when Dave calls, he's actually calling Google, and then Google calls me, and then connects me and Dave.
Okay.
So I'm not quite 100% sure on how the caller ID works out. I know some people were having some weird issues where if they called out, it wouldn't show up as with your name. So like if I call you, it'll show up as my cell number, not my Google Voice number, so you might get confused if you don't know my cell number or something like that.
Okay.
I do confuse easily.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of people do, because I'm like, hey, that's not Dave's number. So I really want to use this service, personally, but I can't. Surprise.
Well, we're in Canada. You know how it goes.
So things like, if you're an American, you want to try it. It is a free phone number, which is cool, and it gives you a little more control over your calls. And if you don't like having a work number, a home number, and 3 cell phones, it's probably a good solution for you. And hopefully Google will bring it to Canada.
Now, is this is Google trying to provide everything that you need electronically?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
Google basically wants literally everything you do to communicate or otherwise to go through them in some way or form.
It's almost getting scary.
It's, you know what? If you really delve into it, it's way past scary. Which
they leapt over.
Yeah. If you think about what Google has done in the past few years.
if they're in Sean, they have a phone platform, they have search, they have email,
It's right there.
they have docs, they have feed readers, so they know what you're reading, they know what you're writing, they know who you're talking to, they know what you like to look at.
They've got the stream now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Little concerning.
So it really is our overmind.
Yeah.
They are
Google
really
is Big Brother now, man.
our great overlords.
Yeah.
Continuing on in the line of Google, Android 2.2, the operating system Froyo, is now available. The source got released. Got released at the announcement of the Droid X, which we talked about last week. So that's official now. You can check out the specs on Motorola's site if you're that interested. But he also announced that Android 2.2 has been officially open sourced. So that means all the source is available. So technically the whole OS is available. This doesn't mean you're going to start getting push updates to your phone. You could update it if you wanted to. It's not terribly difficult, I don't think. I haven't looked into it at all.
You have to
but
root your phone to do it.
the push updates are going to come.
Yeah.
But this is the first step. And if you are a developer, the source is all out. So you can start making your add-ons and
Your apps and
apps and things like that. So that's good.
What about jailbreaking? Is that going to be, or has that already happened?
Technically, when you're, what I could do, because I technically need to wait for TELUS and Motorola to work together. I need to wait for Motorola to sit there and say, yeah, we have the phone. Okay, now we have the source.
Yeah.
Now let's tailor it to the droid
And
to the
release
milestone
it,
and
yeah.
release it. It's not like Apple, which has their set hardware and their software works on it, with the exception of Scott's and anyone else in his boat. What they actually have to do is they actually sit there and they actually have to go through every hardware, every phone handheld device, and say,
Well, they got to
does it
tailor
work?
drivers and
Exactly.
firmware things like that. But and actually, interesting you bring that up. I don't think it's really called jailbreaking.
It's called rooting.
Yeah, for the Androids, because they're open sourced already. Mm-hmm. So you can already do all these things that you can't do on an iPhone.
Or that you're not supposed to?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't install your own apps, right? On Google you can. You can just install.
Now, would you say that Apple kind of screwed themselves in that sense?
You know what?
By saying, this is how it's done. Don't do it any other way. Are you not inviting people to...
From our perspective, absolutely, I agree with you 100%. From the consumer perspective, Apple sells everything properly.
Yes.
They go, no, you don't want that ability. You don't want that freedom because our environment will be better because we restricted it. And in a lot of cases, they are 100% right.
They sell it like they should.
But
and they do it very,
it's
very
a sales
successfully.
tactic.
Yeah.
Which is the difference. And in Google's not trying to make money off this. It's free.
It's Linux.
Their operating
it's
system.
under a certain license that says this is Linux. You pay for the support, if that.
Which you don't, because Google doesn't offer any.
And even then, you just go into the forums anyway, and most people have already got it figured out.
So it's completely different. Apple's making money off their stuff, and Google's not.
So they don't have anything to lose.
The phone makers are, obviously, like
Yes.
Motorola and HTC, but Google themselves doesn't get a cut, I don't think. They might get something small, but it's Linux. It'd be illegal if they were charging
I don't know
large
how
fees.
and this is what... I know that Google gets, 99% of their revenue from advertising?
Yeah.
Are they getting that much?
Google has they're the
they're-
core behind almost like half or more of the ads on the web that aren't porn.
They're good.
And even then, some of them are still
So
Google.
it's and if you think about it, most people use the Google search engine, and then all that's powered by just
I've
their
got
ads.
it bookmarked. I just...
Yeah, I do it by habit. Google.com.
Exactly. That's my home page. That is
So-
where I go.
And we're using Google Docs right now to plan the show.
Mind you, we have our own reservations about that, but
and how absolutely terrible it is.
And yet we still use it.
It's the only solution we have.
yeah.
Anyway, on to the next one. Yeah.
Next story, we're talking about Sean's new favorite device of all time, the Toshiba Libretto W100.
We're not going to talk about what his previous favorite device was.
No,
No. Probably.
we're gonna leave that out. I think.
Yeah.
Probably,
There
yeah.
could be people who
Object.
like me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So this is basically a two-screen tablet, kind of like the Courier. So it's got two 7-inch multi-touch screens, one on the top, one on the bottom.
They're both multi-touch?
Both multi-touch. Now that is a
Cool.
sexy-looking device. It's small. It's sleek-looking. It looks like it's taking a little bit of styling from Apple. It's got like the similar shape. I don't know if that's a button or not on the side.
It is actually. I think what it is a. I want to say it's kind of like a D-pad.
Oh, that's
You know what I
interesting.
mean? So like, there are some things that you can't do with just touch alone. Sometimes you need an actual cursor.
Yeah.
So that would be your cursor.
So this device is basically a PC. It is running an ultra-mobile Pentium processor, so a little less power than an Atom in your netbook.
But still,
it's
very
it's
decent power.
got enough kick, and not that this. It's got more kick than the iPad, but it's running Windows 7, so
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
see what happens there. So it is running Windows 7 Premium, Home Premium, which is good. They didn't throw the crappy basic version on there.
Which should be which is a sign in and of itself.
Yeah. You got 2 gigs RAM standard, same kind of storage. It's solid state storage, which is great. It looks pretty snazzy.
It really does. I mean, this looks like this is what the Courier. I guess
Now,
it's not
the one thing
Courier,
that
but
that Quinn and I did think about as soon as we saw this. Oh, it's like the Courier. Well,
Yeah.
the Courier was having this interface that Microsoft was tailoring to the dual
to the
touch
device
screen.
itself.
As you can see here, that's not really there. There's going to be
Yeah.
some built-in Toshiba apps
But that's
geared
what
to
we
the
have to do
touchscreen, but it's an app. It's not like a native environment built into Windows.
And you know the other thing that I was noticing, and what I'm hoping is still there. I was saying to Dave, the Courier you didn't have to have it like a little netbook. You could have it as a book, like you could put it on its side and read it like so.
I don't see why there'd be a reason not to.
Exactly.
You can flip your screens in Windows.
Yeah, exactly. So I was saying to Dave how it'd be great if they had maybe a gyro in it. You know, the usual accelerometer to do it. But then, you know, at the same time, Dave did bring up the good point. You don't really need it.
And then it'd be like the iPhone and not really know which way's up
Exactly.
and change all the time.
Or have a switch where you can
Yeah.
decide to have it switch. I do know with my iPhone that if I'm like sitting there like on my bed and I'm like, there's you look at sideways.
Yeah, and then you put it down and you're like, I'm done here.
Oh no, it's no, it's or maybe just like a toggle, like a touch toggle or something.
And
Something like that.
Because the images, like they even show it, like me and Dave were looking at it, and that's when he brought up the toggle idea, is it shows the New York Times as a paper, like as it is a normal book, rather than a tab itself.
And then the one last feature I do want to point out is you can treat it as 2 independent displays. So you can have one window open here, one window open here. So you have email and internet or game and solitaire or whatever you want.
Or something like that.
Or you can treat it as one display and have your screen go the whole way. So really, it seems to be a lot more versatile than I think the Courier was going to be.
Yes.
In those terms.
Because the Courier was actually only going to have one side for internet.
And the other side was
gonna
dedicated for controls.
Exactly.
So we'll see. In Canada, we're looking at an $1,100 price point. It is on the official Toshiba website. Link in the show notes if you want to check out more on the specs. Apparently, they're making a limited run. It's to celebrate their 25th anniversary of making laptops or something.
Yeah.
But maybe if this is really good, Toshiba will keep it around. But we're looking forward to it.
Definitely.
Sean's probably going to buy one because
This is how he rolls.
that's
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's supposed to be coming out within this year, so if I still have money, I'm probably going to pick one up. If I've got disposable income.
So that's it from Tech Insight. Next up, we're going behind the lens to check out the latest from Samsung. Welcome behind the lens, everybody. First off, we're talking some news about SD cards.
Yeah, SanDisk has been dealing with 128 megabyte tamper-proof cards, but now they are making 1 gig cards that they'll be distributing at the very least right now to the Japanese police force. Now, they call these cards worm cards because they are a write once, read many times card. And they're said to be tamper-proof, so once something is on that card, it cannot be altered, it cannot be taken off the card, it cannot be deleted from the card. Now, any computer that has an SD card slot can read these files, but you have to have a worm-capable camera or device to be able to write to the cards.
Makes sense.
So only the write-once capable cameras can actually record that data.
And I think I read they're supposed to be super durable. The data's supposed to last like uninterrupted
Yes, it's
for
supposed
100 years. or
100
something?
years
Yeah.
is supposed to be our archival quality chipset in it that's not supposed to degrade for 100 years. I mean, basically the application for this card is on the very basic level is police
Law
force
enforcement.
evidence. If you've ever watched CSI, they always take pictures at crime scenes of all kinds of different stuff, and that is really what happens in the real world, just not with as many flashy lights and lens flares. But the idea is most of the time it was taken with film, specifically because film is a non-tamper-proof system. You can't really mess with the negatives with the exception of exposing them improperly, but that doesn't really gain anything. That's not putting information in there. But film degrades over time, even if stored properly, and ultimately is a lot more cumbersome to work with. So the idea is that these cards sort of help push that digital medium, but still allow that security and that accuracy to the evidence.
Could maybe make it a little easier on our court systems and maybe make digital evidence a little more concrete than it is right now.
Absolutely. Now, another use that I had read about, which I think is actually a really sort of interesting and very good use for the card, is voting systems. So we always hear about things in Afghanistan and stuff like that where they're trying to have democratic votes and then the votes get switched and all that kind of stuff because someone's trying to take power somewhere. So the idea is if their machines, the digital machines that they were using, wrote to these cards, that no one else can really mess anything up. Or
even in the States where their electronic voting system always goes wonky for some reason.
Yeah.
Demands recounts and revotes and things.
So I mean, there's some pretty interesting use for this technology. I'm assuming it's never really going to be available on a consumer level because
Not that you're really going to want one as a consumer. I don't.
No,
think.
I would expect they'd be expensive too, just because as much as they have less use, they're designed to be more robust at the single use that
And
they
they're
do.
probably not putting out as many as they would as a...
No, and as a consumer, I think you'd have a very hard time getting a worm-approved camera,
Yeah.
off the shelf somewhere. So, anyway, it's cool stuff, and I think it does show where digital technology is going, at least from a law enforcement, political side of things. So, keep your eyes on SanDisk. They are one of the two big names in portable media, them and Lexar. So, I won't be surprised to see Lexar follow up with something too.
similar.
Yeah.
So now we're going to talk about the Samsung NX10. Now this, you were trying to tell me, is a Micro Four Thirds camera that's not really a Micro Four Thirds camera.
Well, it's, the thing is that Micro Four Thirds has become a genre, although it's not exactly accurate, because Micro Four Thirds, what that specifically means is a certain type of lens mount. It's the lens mount and sensor system that Olympus and Panasonic are using jointly together. But we've used that to sort of classify these smaller SLR-like cameras that aren't actually SLRs, although you can change the lenses.
Yeah.
So I say micro four thirds because then you know what I'm talking about. But the actual truth is that this guy has an APS-C size sensor in it. Now, what that means is if you have a Nikon D3000 or a Canon T2i or something like that, this sensor is the exact same size as all of those other ones. Now, what that means for the consumer is that because the sensor is actually larger than the micro four thirds sensor, its low light capabilities are a little bit better because, as we've talked about before, having larger pixels and low light always improves your image quality.
More light than 1 pixel.
So Samsung's really making the smart choice this time and going, okay, you know, although we could try and buy into Panasonic Olympus technology and have access to their lenses, we really want to push the higher image quality.
So basically, they're trying to hit the market with making a better product for the same market.
Absolutely. They're going for the, we want you to buy this camera because it's smaller and it's like a point and shoot and it shoots video, but it takes just as good a picture as that D5000 you were thinking of buying instead. But it's smaller and more portable. So it comes as a standard kit with an 18 to 55 lens. Like the other micro four thirds cameras, there's not a huge amount of lenses available for it right now, but you can get a 30mm pancake lens and a 55 to 200 zoom lens. So that's sort of the standard set of lenses that any entry-level photographer would want to play with.
People who are going to be buying this format of camera are not really going to necessarily be looking for anything more than that, right?
Absolutely. Now, this guy's 14 megapixels. It's got a full range of features on it, like most SLRs, full manual control, a bunch of different autofocus options, shoots at 3 frames per second. You do have an electronic viewfinder on this guy, which you don't get on some of the smaller Olympus pen cameras and stuff, so some people do enjoy having that over the screen.
Now, I would like to point out the electronic viewfinder is not great.
No, the Panasonic's electronic viewfinder is better as far as clarity between the Samsung and this guy, but what Panasonic does to sort of make up for it is they have a really nice 3-inch AMOLED screen on the back, which
really
is
crisp, really
quite
clear.
bright.
Yeah.
Now, Panasonic likes to put swivel screens on their cameras so that you can shoot at off angles and things like that. But what's nice is the AMOLED screen actually has an incredibly good viewing angle. So even if you hold the camera above your head, you can still see what you're taking a picture of. So they kind of go, well, why have that swivel screen that could break when we'll just let you see better anyways? Overall, I was really impressed with the image quality from it. It is a step above the Panasonic and the Olympus, but the price point on this guy is just as competitive. You're looking at the MSRP is $799 with the kit lens. You can catch it on sale for $750, $700 if you know where you're looking. And you can pick up the other lenses for a little bit cheaper than the competition. Panasonic sells their 45 to 200 lens for $400. Samsung's doing it for $350. So, although Samsung hasn't really made glass before, they have been making glass for military applications for over 50 years. So although they haven't, although they haven't done consumer glass, they're no stranger to making glass. So the optics are quite sharp on it, and if you check out DP Review's review on the camera itself, and specifically the 30mm lens, it does rate pretty high. What did you think overall, just getting in your hands and stuff like that?
It's pretty comfortable to hold. It's pretty standard. It's not any much different in terms of shooting. I didn't find from the other micro four thirds, but the fit and finish is really nice. It's got a good interface. It's really simple to get at everything. It doesn't take forever. It's not confusing or anything like that. It was really nice. The autofocus was really good. I found it was
It does do a good job of being comfortable to hold without being overly big. It has less of a grip to it than the Panasonic does, but I don't feel like it's any harder to hold because of that.
No, it's alright. It's not too bad. It's got a nice balance considering it's still got a decent sized lens on there.
And when you throw the 30mm pancake, it gets pretty small, and you can really kind of throw it in a big jacket pocket, that kind of thing. It does shoot 720p video as well, so keeping up with those guys. Overall, if you're looking for a micro four thirds style camera, definitely check out Samsung. You know, it's taken a chance on the underdog at this point, but honestly, I think it's worth it because the picture quality is definitely the highest from the bunch. So that's the Samsung NX10, and that's it this week from Behind the Lens. We'll be right back with Sean's Mad Science.
Science!
It's kind of alive!
Nah, it's still dead.
Oh.
Hi everyone, welcome to Mad Science again this week. Once again, I'm Sean, and
I'm Dave.
my wonderful, lovely assistant.
Oh, stop. We're totally not dating.
No. So we got a couple of stories this week. Both of them are dealing with, well, one of them's a robot, but we'll get to that. The first thing I wanted to talk about, though, was something a lot of security professionals in the way of IT, and, well, I guess anyone who's dealt with a computer and a virus has sat there and gone, oh, gee, it'd be nice if, my computer didn't always get sick all the time, and I have to try and back stuff up without it getting infected again. Well, DARPA's on the way to doing that. It's a very neat idea they have. They want to try and mimic the human immune system in a computer. So they kind of break down the human immune system to two things, is how they see it. They see it as, one, the innate human immune system, and the active human immune system. The innate one is one we've had as soon as we're born. It's the immunities we've gotten through all of evolution throughout the millions of years. So everything that we're immune to at that point. However, there's, of course, different flus, different, all sorts of different viruses and different bugs out there, and that get us sick.
Our immune system, in case you didn't know, is constantly updating
Always
itself.
updating itself. So this kind of works for computers. I mean, if you've got a virus scan program, most companies get, if they hear about a specific virus, or worm out there, they get a sample of it and create a virus pattern or definition against it, so that the AV program can say, oh, there it is, going to get rid of it, delete it, quarantine it, do something, don't install it, whatever it may be. However, that requires a human in there. They don't want that. What they want is they want the human.
Okay. Now, because this is where I come in, being Captain Paranoid. But I was saying to Sean, we were talking about this earlier, and I said that actually sounds scarier because that's one more step to
basically an autonomous computer itself. And it is kind of scary, this will be Skynet eventually. Who knows? It's DARPA. They'll do it.
Cyberdyne.
Yeah, they'll do it. But the system that they have is called the CRASH system, which stands for, and I have to actually have this in front of me, Clean Slate Design of Resilient, Adaptive, Secure Hosts. Basically, it's a program that seeks out a whole bunch of computers, or new computers, and updates them. So, much like the system is now, the AV supplier will give you the definitions and whatnot. However, the system is also looking at the other systems out on the network, on the internet, everywhere, saying, do you have this virus? Have you had this virus? You have? Okay, I'm going to take your definition. I've not had this yet. And it creates its own definition so that it can prevent itself.
It's like Star Trek: The Next Generation, where they had the hyper-evolved humans who had the immune system that went out.
Yes.
And then made people old.
Exactly.
You see what's going to happen?
Yeah, we're all going to get old.
Yeah. So, I am going to invest in a retirement lodge now.
I would also suggest a lead vest.
And a lead... What?
It'll block the beams.
I have to wear a tinfoil hat and a lead vest?
Yep. But, so that's a neat thing coming from DARPA. This is what they're working on for their computers, and just basically, it's not for everybody. It's like governments, things like that. So military purposes.
Hey, remember when the internet was for the government?
Good point.
All right, we're done.
Very good point. So, that wraps that story up. Have a look for that in the show notes, though. It's a very interesting article. It goes pretty in-depth. It's neat. It's pretty neat. Second story we have for you, though, tonight is the, these guys, the story is just called Willow Garage Robot Learns How to Play Pool in Just 1 Week. I wish I could learn to play pool in 1 week.
Or I'd settle for at all.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I suck at pool.
Yeah.
This is a very neat little, not little robot. It's pretty much human size. These guys decided that they would build it, and these guys are kind of pool sharks. They built this robot, and they taught it how to play pool. So this thing is able to actually, it knows where the table is, where the balls are on the table, and it even has a simulation program built into it that allows it to basically create a virtual shot and say, yeah, I'm going to make that shot.
That was neat. It was neat when you were playing the video. It was neat watching the video and just seeing bip, 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 bop, 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 bip. And it was neat because it was running through, and I assume that it was slowed down for the benefit of...
just the viewer.
For us. And that in its computer mind, it was like... And we're done. Okay, 10,000 shots. Got it. Okay, this is the one I want.
Exactly. So we got that clip for you right now. So hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully you watch the whole thing.
Once the PR2 knew where the balls and table were, we could pass that information to our shop planner. We used FastFizz, open source pool physics library by Alon Altman, to check the results of our planned shots before executing them. We began our pool playing sprint on Monday morning. By Friday afternoon, the PR2 was successfully pocketing shots. It even surprised us by making some fairly long shots, as well as shots from difficult angles.
So it's pretty impressive when you actually see what it's able to do. So as Dave was saying, it creates the shot in its mind and then goes ahead and actually takes it. And there's even a clip at the end of the video of one of the guys who is trying to take the same shot, because they were saying it even surprised them that it took shots that they didn't even expect it to take.
Like it could take long shots,
short
bank
shots, bank shots even, and weird angles. But check that one out. So it's called the Willow Garage Robot. Check out the videos in our show notes. There's one thing I wanted to post very quickly. It's really more of a question to all of you viewers out there, for whoever is watching. If you want to see me build any of these projects any faster, if you want to give me, if you think it's a good idea.
And I'm trying to be fair.
They're not moving.
It could be at all.
Yeah, at all. Because funding right now sucks.
S Division is in arrears.
Yeah. So if you'd like to help us out a little bit, I'm not asking you to yet. I just want to know if you guys would be willing to. Email me at s_division@almostfridayshow.com. If you think that you'd like to donate, or if you think it's even a good idea. I mean, I don't know. I'm just pitching it to you guys. Extra little funding from a third party is always good. Government always sucks. It takes forever.
Yeah.
So that wraps up tonight's Mad Science, and next up is the Lull of the Week.
Alright folks, it's time for the lull of the week. Time we find a video of the week that was really funny and sometimes kind of clever on the internet that we can show you.
Yes, it is internet legend Peter Chao. I don't know if he's a legend.
Who I've never heard of before.
But I hope he is a legend, because
he is now.
He's pretty funny. He's playing an obviously very over-stereotyped Asian character who's in a commercial with an iPad user whose douchebaggery knows no limits.
Because he's an iPad user.
So the iPad user decides to explain what's so special about the iPad, and Peter Chao just sort of knocks it all down because, well, Peter Chao only likes pictures of Peter Chao. And, well, the iPad can't even take pictures to begin with. So I really can't explain it as well as Peter Chao can just do it. So here's a clip.
This is just a giant iPod Touch.
Well, you see, people needed a bigger screen to watch pornography. With a bigger screen.
I can see you have been taking advantage.
Oh, well, it's got the, the fingerprint-resistant oleophobic coating, so there's no worry for prints of any kind.
Oh, that's disgusting. Just take a picture of me.
Actually, with the iPad, you can't take photos. You can only view them.
So that was just a small segment of the clip. It's pretty funny if you watch the whole thing.
Did you get the Peter Chao PC?
I'm not gonna lie. That would be me cluing into it just now.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I thought you were gonna make fun of me a little bit. That's good. All right.
Yeah, it's good now. Yeah. Normally I'm an Apple user, but in this case, I'm gonna have to side with Peter Chao.
I'd rather use Peter Chao than an iPad, I think.
Use Peter Chao.
He can take pictures.
But only of himself. Either way. That wraps up our show this week. As per usual, if you want to get a hold of us, you can always check us out on Twitter. We're almost_Friday.
Or you can email us any comments at contact@almostfridayshow.com.
We'd love to hear from you. We've gotten some people requesting for us to review things. If you want us to check stuff out or give our opinion on something, we're always welcome to do it, and we will do it, I promise.
Chances are, if you send an email, it's going to be on the show.
Absolutely. So you should do that. But until next time, make sure that you always keep your Peter Chao well fed.